Salvation Army will begin construction of a new men's shelter in Peoria soon. Back in October, the Salvation Army won approval from Peoria City Council to expand housing for homeless men, which would turn the old Labor Temple building in a single-story shelter. The overall project is estimated at $12 million, and the nonprofit received a $2 million grant from the state to make this happen.
Yeah, here in just a few short weeks, you'll start to see heavy equipment coming in that will demolish that building. Again, a great heritage of the labor movement in Peoria for 100 years. We'd love to see that building stay, but unfortunately, it just is cost prohibitive for the new development.
Sales also says the shelter will have a capacity of 82 beds, enhancing services like mental health, physical health, and job opportunity programs.